Questioner. When did the first call occur, and how did it occur? Ra. I am Ra. The first calling was approximately 46,000 of your years ago. This calling was of those of Maldek. These entities were aware of their need for rectifying the consequences of their action and were in some confusion in an incarnate state as to the circumstances of their incarnation, the unconscious being aware, the conscious being quite confused. This created a calling. The Confederation sent love and light to these entities. Questioner. How did the Confederation send this love and light? Precisely what did they do? Ra. I am Ra. There dwell within the Confederation planetary entities, who from their planetary spheres do nothing but send love and light as pure streamings to those who call. This is not in the form of conceptual thought, but of pure and undifferentiated love. Questioner. Did the first distortion of the law of one then require that equal time, shall I say, be given to the self-service-oriented group? Ra. I am Ra. In this case this was not necessary for some of your time due to the orientation of the entities. Questioner. What was their orientation? Ra. The orientation of these entities was such that the aid of the Confederation was not perceived. Questioner. Since it was not perceived, it was not necessary to balance this. Is that correct? Ra. I am Ra. This is correct. What is necessary to balance is opportunity. When there is ignorance, there is no opportunity. When there exists a potential, then each opportunity shall be balanced, this balancing caused by not only the positive and negative orientations of those offering aid, but also the orientation of those requesting aid. Questioner. I see. I want to clear up a point here, then. When was the first contact by the Orion Group? In years. Ra. I am Ra. As we have said, the Orion Group attempted contact approximately 60,000 of your years in the past, as you measure time. Questioner. But then there was, I meant the first attempt in the second major cycle. Now we're in the second 25,000 years. How many years ago was the Orion Group's attempt in that cycle? Ra. I am Ra. The Orion Group next attempted in more fertile territory approximately 3,600 of your years in the past, as you measure time. Questioner. In other words, there was no attempt 46,000 years ago by the Orion Group to contact. Is that correct? Ra. I am Ra. This is correct. Questioner. As we progress into the second 25,000 year cycle, at this time, during this period, was this the period of Lemuria? Ra. I am Ra. This is incorrect. However, those who escaped the destruction of Lemuria by natural catastrophe, and were thus of Lemurian background, continued their learned teachings at locations ranging from your South America onward through Tapeside 1 Questioner. Years ago did Lemuria suffer its catastrophe? Ra. I am Ra. This was approximately 50,000 of your years ago. The origins being approximately 53,000 ago. The damage being completed in that last small cycle of the first master cycle. Questioner. Did you mean to say master or major cycle? Ra. I am Ra. The appropriate sound vibration complex is major cycle. Questioner. Thank you. And did the ending of this first major cycle have something to do with the destruction of Lemuria, or did this destruction just happen to occur at the end of that cycle? Ra. I am Ra. There is a confluence of energies at the ending of a major cycle. This encouraged what was already an inevitable adjustment in the movement of the surfaces of your planetary sphere. Questioner. Thank you very much. I apologize in being so stupid in making my questions, but this has cleared up the point nicely. I wanted to thank you. Then in the second 25,000 year major cycle, was there any great civilization that developed? Ra. I am Ra. In the sense of greatness of technology, there were no great societies during this cycle. There was some advancement among those of Deneb, who had chosen to incarnate as a body in what you would call China. There were appropriately positive steps in activating the green ray energy complex in many portions of your planetary sphere, including the Americas, the continent which you call Africa, the island which you call Australia, and that which you know as India, as well as various scattered peoples. None of these became what you would name great, as the greatness of Lemuria or Atlantis is known to you due to the formation of strong social complexes, and in the case of Atlantis, very great technological understandings. However, in the South American area of your planetary sphere, as you know it, there grew to be a great vibratory distortion towards love. These entities were harvestable at the end of the second major cycle, without ever having formed strong social or technological complexes. This will be the final question in completion of this session. Is there a query we may answer quickly before we close, as this instrument is somewhat depleted? Questioner: I just wanted to apologize for the confusion on my part in carrying on to the second 25,000 years. I also just wanted to ask if there is anything I could do to make the instrument more comfortable. We would like to have a second session today. Ra. I am Ra. You may observe a slight misalignment between book, Kindle, and perpendicularity of a sensor. This is not significant, but, as we have said, the cumulative effects upon this instrument are not well. You are conscientious. It is well to have a second session given the appropriate exercising and manipulation of this instrument's physical complex. I am Ra. I leave you in the love and the light of the one infinite Creator. Go forth, therefore, rejoicing in the power and the peace of the one Creator. Adonai.